a mystery interstellar object that was spotted by astronomers last week. It could be the oldest comet ever seen.
On July 1st, 2025, NASA made a discovery that could change everything we know about our place in the universe. A massive object speeding through space at unimaginable speeds has been detected approaching Earth. Its trajectory is too precise to be a random space rock, and its size, hundreds of times larger than anything we've ever seen, raises the chilling possibility that this might not be a comet, but a spacecraft. The real question now is, are we being watched? And if so, by whom and why? This is the beginning of a mystery that could shake humanity to its core.
As one Harvard professor is raising the theory, this may actually be a piece of alien technology.
This is really exceptional. You have to be an interstellar object to be going that fast at that distance from the sun.
Oumuamua was the first interstellar object ever recorded, and its arrival was a groundbreaking moment in astronomy. Discovered in 2017, this object showed characteristics that defied explanation. Scientists initially thought it might be a comet or an asteroid, but several aspects didn't fit the typical descriptions of these celestial bodies. For one, Oumuamua lacked a tail, an essential feature of a comet as it travels close to the sun. Even more perplexing was its acceleration, which appeared to be more than what could be accounted for by the usual gravitational influences. It moved in ways that made some scientists wonder if it had been sent deliberately on its path, suggesting that it could be an artificial object of extraterrestrial origin. Unfortunately, by the time Oumuamua was discovered, it was already on its way out of the solar system. This meant that astronomers had limited time to study it, and much of its mystery remains unsolved. Despite this, the object's unexplained acceleration and unusual shape have led to some of the most fascinating scientific debates. Was Oumuamua a random space rock, or was it something much more? Some researchers hypothesize that it could be a probe sent by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, but without conclusive evidence, these theories remain speculative. Now, with the detection of 3 Atlas, we are faced with another potential interstellar visitor, this time one that might be even more remarkable. As of the latest observations, 3 Atlas is traveling through space at an astonishing speed, almost twice the velocity of most known objects in our solar system. What makes it even more intriguing is that its trajectory doesn't seem random. According to astronomers, it looks as if someone or something might have deliberately plotted its course, as if it were intended to pass through our solar system. With its enormous speed and precision, it draws comparisons to the speed and trajectory of spacecraft designed by humans, raising questions about whether this object could be artificial in nature. This massive object, 3 Atlas, is much larger than Oumuamua. Early estimates suggest that its size could range from 6 to 9 miles in diameter, comparable to the size of Manhattan Island. For comparison, Oumuamua was only about 330 to 380 feet long, which is roughly the length of a football field. Given the sheer size of 3 Atlas, the idea that it could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft seems less like science fiction and more like a real possibility. At the time of its discovery, 3 Atlas was already speeding past Jupiter's orbit, a vast distance of 327 million miles from Earth. It had already covered much of its journey, heading toward Mars's orbit, and soon it would be on its way to Earth. This is where things take a peculiar turn. If you're following the story, you'll see that the object's trajectory is far too precise to be a random flight path. The object's speed and course seem to suggest it could be deliberately making its way toward Earth and other planets in our solar system, though the reasons behind this remain unclear. The data about this object has left astronomers intrigued but cautious. 3 Atlas is moving faster than nearly any known object in our solar system. The speed at which it is traveling would make a typical journey across the United States seem like a brief jaunt. For example, the distance between New York and Los Angeles, approximately 2,400 miles, would take a passenger plane about 6 hours to cover. However, 3 Atlas could make this journey in just over 1 minute. This extraordinary speed further fuels the debate over whether this object could be the result of advanced technology. So, what exactly is 3 Atlas? This object has sparked a great deal of speculation, with some experts suggesting that it might be an artificial probe similar to the hypothesis raised about Oumuamua. According to Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb and his colleagues, the object's trajectory is so precise that it doesn't seem like the random flight path of an ordinary celestial body. The way it is approaching the solar system gives the impression that it may have been intentionally directed toward our solar system, with Earth possibly being its main point of interest. The scientific community is divided on what exactly 3A Atlas might be. Some argue that it could be a natural object, a comet, for instance, that has been ejected from another solar system. However, the lack of a visible tail, similar to Oumuamua's behavior, suggests that 3A Atlas is not behaving like an ordinary comet. Moreover, its precise trajectory and massive size add further weight to the theory that it could be something other than a natural object. As 3 Atlas continues its rapid approach, we are left to wonder, what is its true origin, and why is it here? Could it be a message from an advanced civilization, or could it simply be a massive comet traveling through space and on its way out of the solar system, never to be seen again? As the object gets closer to Earth, we are left with many unanswered questions, but one thing is certain: this is a moment in scientific history that will continue to shape the way we think about our place in the universe. As we continue to track 3 Atlas, the astonishing speed at which it is traveling through space has captured the attention of astronomers and researchers around the world. The object is moving at an incredible velocity of over 130,000 miles per hour, roughly double the speed of most known objects in our solar system. To put this into perspective, let's consider the scale of this speed. The distance between New York and Los Angeles, approximately 2,400 miles, would take about 6 hours to cover in a passenger airplane. In comparison, 3 Atlas could travel that same distance in just 1 minute and 7 seconds. This is not just fast, it's mind-bogglingly fast, raising many questions about its origins and nature. One of the most intriguing aspects of 3A Atlas is that its speed is so great that even the sun's gravitational pull cannot keep it in the solar system. Typically, objects within our solar system, such as asteroids and comets, are bound by the sun's gravity. However, 3A Atlas is moving so quickly that it will eventually escape the solar system's gravitational influence. This is a crucial observation because it suggests that the object did not originate from our solar system. It must have come from somewhere else, perhaps another star system entirely, and is now on a course that will take it back into interstellar space once it has completed its journey through our solar system. At the moment of its discovery, 3 Atlas was approximately 327 million miles away from Earth, sitting within the orbit of Jupiter. As you're reading this, it has already traveled much farther and is now approaching Mars's orbit. By the time you finish this, it will have already passed Mars, continuing on its rapid path toward Earth. The precise trajectory of 3 Atlas is a subject of intense study, as it appears to be following a remarkably calculated path. Unlike most objects that come through our solar system, which tend to move in more erratic and unpredictable ways, 3 Atlas seems to have a deliberate, almost intentional flight path. This carefully mapped trajectory has led some astronomers, including Avi Loeb, a professor of astronomy at Harvard University, to suggest that this object may not be a random space rock or comet at all. Instead, it could be a spacecraft, possibly sent by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. The idea that 3 Atlas might be deliberately directed toward our solar system is a fascinating one, but it raises many more questions. Why would an extraterrestrial civilization send such a massive object into our solar system? What could it be looking for? And perhaps most importantly, what does it mean for humanity if we are indeed being observed by an alien intelligence? The trajectory of 3A Atlas is far from random. According to astronomical calculations, this object is following a path that brings it dangerously close to several planets in the solar system, including Mars, Earth, and Venus. In fact, the object will pass within 17.5 million miles of Mars on October 2nd, which in cosmic terms is practically within arm's reach. While this may seem like a vast distance when compared to everyday measurements, it is actually quite close in the context of space. The next major milestone for 3 Atlas will be its closest approach to Earth, which will occur on December 19th. At that time, the object will pass approximately 167 million miles from Earth, a distance nearly twice as far as the distance between Earth and the Sun. Following its flyby of Earth, 3A Atlas will then head towards Venus, where it will pass even close, just 60 million miles from the planet. One of the most puzzling aspects of 3A Atlas's trajectory is the sheer precision of its path. The object's flight plan has been calculated with remarkable accuracy, and the chances of an interstellar object following such a precise trajectory are astronomically low. According to the latest calculations, the probability of such an alignment is less than 0.005%. In other words, in 99.995% of cases, an interstellar object would simply zoom past the solar system without coming close to any of the planets. Yet 3 Atlas seems to be following a highly calculated course, suggesting that its movement is not just a coincidence. This unique trajectory has led to further speculation that 3 Atlas may not be a natural object like a comet or asteroid, but rather an artificial one. If it is indeed an artificial object, the fact that it is passing so close to several planets in the solar system, including Earth, raises a host of intriguing possibilities. Could it be that 3 Atlas is the spacecraft designed to study the planets of the solar system? If so, why would an extraterrestrial civilization be interested in observing Earth, and why would it take such a deliberate path through the solar system, coming so close to Mars but not to Earth? These questions only deepen the mystery surrounding 3 Atlas. Avi Loeb and his colleagues have proposed that the object's path is too perfect to be the result of a random trajectory. In their view, this precise flight path could be evidence that 3A Atlas is a spacecraft, possibly sent on a mission to explore the solar system. According to their calculations, the object's trajectory is so well aligned that it seems as if it was intentionally plotted. Furthermore, the object's speed and trajectory suggest that it might be on a reconnaissance mission to study the planets it passes, including Earth. The fact that it is traveling so fast and with such precision suggests that it is using advanced technology that we cannot yet fully understand. But if 3 Atlas is indeed a spacecraft, why is it not coming closer to Earth? After all, if the primary mission of this object is to observe intelligent life, it would make more sense for it to approach Earth as closely as possible. Instead, 3 Atlas will pass within 10 times closer to Mars than to Earth. This has led to further speculation that the object might not be interested in Earth at all. Perhaps, as Loeb suggests, the object's trajectory was intentionally designed to avoid a close encounter with Earth. This idea suggests that the extraterrestrial civilization behind 3 Atlas may be deliberately avoiding direct contact with humanity, preferring instead to observe us from a distance. Loeb has speculated that this may be a deliberate maneuver to study Earth while avoiding detection. If the object is a spacecraft, the extraterrestrial beings aboard might be trying to study us without giving us the opportunity to study them. This hypothesis is supported by the fact that at the time of 3 Atlas's closest approach to Earth, the sun will be positioned between Earth and the object, effectively blocking any direct observation. While the object will be illuminated by the sun, making it visible to telescopes, Earth-based observers will be unable to see it due to the sun's position. This suggests that the object's trajectory was carefully planned to avoid detection, raising the possibility that the creators of 3 Atlas want to study us without us knowing they are there. Another fascinating possibility is that 3 Atlas is not planning to leave the solar system at all. Instead of continuing its journey into interstellar space, it may be using the gravitational field of the Sun or one of the planets, such as Jupiter, to alter its trajectory. This would allow the object to slow down or change its course, possibly enabling it to remain in the solar system for a longer period of time. If this is the case, it would suggest that 3 Atlas is not just a passing visitor, but rather a long-term observer, collecting data on the solar system and its planets. This idea is supported by the fact that spacecraft from Earth often use gravitational assists from planets to alter their speed and trajectory. Could 3 Atlas be using a similar technique, allowing it to remain within the solar system for an extended period of time to study us in greater detail? As we continue to observe 3A Atlas, the questions surrounding its origin, purpose, and intentions grow more complex. Is it an interstellar object sent by an extraterrestrial civilization to study our solar system? Or is it simply a natural object that is following an unusual path? The fact that it is moving at such an incredible speed and following such a precise trajectory raises the possibility that it is not just a random space rock. But until we learn more, these questions will remain unanswered, and the mystery of 3 Atlas will continue to capture the imagination of scientists and the public alike. In the coming months, as 3A Atlas approaches Earth, we may begin to unravel more of its secrets. For now, we are left to wonder about the true nature of this mysterious interstellar visitor. Its journey through our solar system is an extraordinary event in the history of astronomy, one that will likely have profound implications for our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Whether it is a natural object or an artificial spacecraft, 3 Atlas is forcing us to rethink what we know about space, technology, and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. As we continue to track its progress, we can only hope that it will reveal the answers to some of the most profound questions humanity has ever asked. As we continue to follow the journey of 3 Atlas, the evidence that points toward it being more than just a comet or asteroid becomes harder to ignore. Its trajectory, speed, and sheer size all seem to suggest that it might not be a random object from space, but rather an artificial spacecraft. Some of the most intriguing aspects of this interstellar visitor include its incredibly precise flight path, its ability to travel at speeds that seem beyond the capabilities of known natural objects, and the distinct possibility that it may be deliberately avoiding detection by Earth-based observers. Avi Loeb, a renowned astronomer from Harvard University, and his colleagues have been at the forefront of proposing that 3 Atlas might be an artificial spacecraft sent from another civilization. Their argument stems from the object's trajectory, which does not align with the random paths of natural objects like asteroids or comets. Instead, the flight path of 3 Atlas seems calculated, almost as if it were intentionally directed toward our solar system. This raises the possibility that this object could be a probe or reconnaissance spacecraft sent by an extraterrestrial civilization to explore and study our solar system, with Earth possibly being a target of interest. The trajectory of 3A Atlas has been carefully studied by scientists, and its path through the solar system appears to be remarkably deliberate. The object is heading toward Mars and will pass by the red planet on October 2nd, coming within 17.5 million miles of its surface. In cosmic terms, this is relatively close. After passing Mars, 3 Atlas will continue its journey toward Earth, where it will reach its closest point on December 19th, passing just 167 million miles from our planet. While this might seem like a vast distance, it is significantly closer than the distances typically seen with interstellar objects. Following its encounter with Earth, 3 Atlas will then pass by Venus at just 60 million miles. This carefully calculated path is not typical for objects coming from interstellar space. Normally, objects like asteroids or comets that enter our solar system follow much more erratic trajectories, often with little predictability. However, the trajectory of 3 Atlas is so precise that it has led some scientists to suggest that it could not have come here by chance. Instead, it seems to be following a flight path that brings it close to several key planets, including Mars, Earth, and Venus. The sheer improbability of such a path, calculated to pass so close to multiple planets, has convinced many that this object might be following a deliberate course. If this is the case, it could suggest that 3 Atlas is not just a random visitor, but an object with a purpose. The idea that 3A Atlas could be an artificial spacecraft is further supported by its speed. The object is traveling at a remarkable velocity of over 130,000 miles per hour, almost double the speed of most known objects in the solar system. This speed is so great that even the sun's gravity cannot keep 3A Atlas within the solar system. Normally, objects within our solar system are bound by the sun's gravitational pull, but 3A Atlas is moving so fast that it will eventually escape this influence. This suggests that the object did not originate from our solar system and instead came from another star system. The fact that 3A Atlas is traveling at such high speeds raises the possibility that it is not just a natural object, but one that has been engineered to travel at such remarkable velocities. If 3 Atlas is indeed a spacecraft, its purpose is still unclear. It could be a reconnaissance mission, sent by an extraterrestrial civilization to study our solar system and its planets. Given the object's trajectory, it seems to be taking a particular interest in Mars, Earth, and Venus, possibly as part of a larger exploration of our solar system. But why these planets? Why not Jupiter or the outer planets? One possible explanation is that these planets are the most likely candidates for harboring life or being suitable for exploration. Earth, in particular, has long been a focal point of interest for scientists studying the possibility of extraterrestrial life. If 3A Atlas is a spacecraft, it might be focused on studying Earth for signs of life, or even examining the potential for human contact. The idea that 3 Atlas is a spacecraft raises another intriguing possibility. It may be deliberately avoiding contact with Earth. As it approaches our solar system, the object's trajectory seems to suggest that it is avoiding a close encounter with our planet. While it will pass within 167 million miles of Earth, this is still a relatively far distance when compared to the distance between Earth and other planets in our solar system. This is significantly farther than the object will pass from Mars, which will come within 17.5 million miles of the object. If 3 Atlas is a spacecraft sent by an extraterrestrial civilization, it may be trying to avoid detection by humans. Perhaps the civilization behind it is studying us from a distance, gathering data about our planet and its inhabitants without revealing themselves. Avi Loeb has proposed that the object's trajectory is not a mistake, but rather a deliberate maneuver. He suggests that if the object is a spacecraft, its creators may have intentionally designed its path to avoid Earth, while still allowing it to gather data on the planet. According to Loeb, the object's closest approach to Earth will occur when the sun is between the object and our planet. This will prevent us from being able to observe it, despite the fact that the object will be illuminated by the sun, making it visible to telescopes. In other words, 3A Atlas might be using the sun to block our ability to observe it, even though it is close enough to gather data on Earth. Another fascinating possibility is that 3A Atlas is not just passing through our solar system, but that it may be planning to stay longer. It might be using gravitational assists from planets like Jupiter to adjust its trajectory and remain in the solar system for a longer period. This would allow the object to conduct a more thorough study of the planets it passes, particularly Earth. If this is the case, 3E Atlas could be an exploration vessel sent by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization to study our solar system in detail. Its speed and trajectory suggests that it is not just a random visitor, but an object with a clear purpose and intent. If 3 Atlas is a spacecraft, it could also be using technology that is far beyond anything we currently understand. The precise nature of its propulsion system is unknown, but given its speed and the way it has entered our solar system, it is likely that the object is using advanced propulsion methods. Some scientists have speculated that 3 Atlas might be using a form of gravity assist, where it uses the gravitational fields of planets like Jupiter to alter its trajectory. This method has been used by Earth spacecraft to travel greater distances, but it requires advanced technology and precise calculations. If 3A Atlas is indeed a spacecraft, it could be using similar methods to navigate its way through the solar system. Other possibility is that 3 Atlas could be powered by a form of technology that we are not yet familiar with. Perhaps the object is using a form of propulsion that is far beyond our current capabilities, allowing it to travel at such incredible speeds. Some researchers have suggested that 3 Atlas could be using a form of solar sail technology, where light from the sun is used to propel the object forward. While this technology is still in its infancy, it has been tested in small-scale experiments. If 3A Atlas is using solar sail technology, it would be capable of traveling vast distances across space without the need for traditional fuel. As 3 Atlas continues its journey toward Earth, the questions surrounding its origin and purpose remain unanswered. Is it a natural object, or is it an artificial spacecraft sent by an extraterrestrial civilization? The evidence seems to point toward the latter, but until we know more, the mystery remains. The precise trajectory of 3 Atlas, its incredible speed, and its deliberate avoidance of Earth all suggest that it is not just a random interstellar visitor. It may be part of a larger exploration mission, sent to study our solar system and its planets. Whether it is a spacecraft or a natural object, 3 Atlas is forcing us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about space, technology, and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. The mystery surrounding 3 Atlas is just beginning, and as scientists continue to track its progress, we can only speculate about what this object might reveal. Could it be the first contact with an advanced extraterrestrial civilization? Or is it simply a visitor from another star system, passing through our solar system on its way out into the vastness of space? Whatever the answer may be, 3 Atlas is a reminder that the universe is full of mysteries, and that we have only just begun to scratch the surface in understanding them. One of the most compelling aspects of this mysterious object is how it compares to Oumuamua, the first interstellar object discovered in 2017. Oumuamua's arrival shocked the scientific community due to its strange characteristics, many of which defied the conventional understanding of asteroids and comets. Much like 3A Atlas, Oumuamua exhibited peculiar behavior that couldn't easily be explained by natural phenomena. Its shape was one of the most baffling features. It was elongated, resembling a cigar, and it had no visible tail, which is a typical feature of comets when they approach the sun. Despite the unusual nature of Oumuamua, it was initially thought to be a comet or asteroid. However, as more data came in, scientists began to realize that its behavior didn't match that of typical space objects. The most puzzling feature of Oumuamua was its sudden acceleration, a phenomenon that usually occurs when a comet releases gas and dust, but no such tail or outgassing was observed. This unexplained acceleration led some to propose that Oumuamua might not be a natural object at all, but rather an artificial one, perhaps a probe sent from another civilization. This idea remained highly controversial, with many scientists suggesting that the object was simply an unusual, yet natural space rock. Now, with the appearance of 3 Atlas, we are faced with another interstellar object that is raising similar questions. 3 Atlas, while being much larger and faster than Oumuamua, exhibits some of the same strange characteristics. For instance, it is traveling at an extraordinary speed, far faster than any known object in the solar system. Its trajectory is highly precise, suggesting that it may not be a random object, but one that has been deliberately set on its path. Similar to Oumuamua, 3 Atlas has no visible tail, which is raising suspicions that it may be something other than a comet. The size of 3 Atlas further complicates the mystery. Oumuamua was relatively small, about 330 to 380 feet long, roughly the size of a football field. In contrast, 3 Atlas is estimated to be between 6 and 9 miles in diameter, which is hundreds of times larger. This makes the possibility of it being an artificial spacecraft more plausible. If Oumuamua was a scout sent ahead, 3 Atlas could be the main vessel, possibly even a mothership following in its wake. While some scientists still argue that Oumuamua was a natural object, others, like Avi Loeb, remain firm in their belief that it was an artificial probe. Loeb was one of the first to propose that Oumuamua could be a solar sail, a technology that uses light from the sun to propel an object through space. According to Loeb, the unusual acceleration of Oumuamua could be explained by the solar radiation pressure acting on a very thin, lightweight object. This idea, although speculative, suggests that Oumuamua might have been a probe designed to travel across vast distances using solar energy. If 3 Atlas is indeed an artificial spacecraft, it could further support Loeb's hypothesis that Oumuamua was a similarly advanced probe. Despite the excitement and intrigue surrounding 3 Atlas, there are still many questions that remain unanswered. Is it an artificial spacecraft, or is it just another unusual comet or asteroid? Some scientists argue that its strange trajectory and speed are simply the result of natural forces, and that it will eventually be classified as just another interstellar object. However, the idea that it could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft cannot be dismissed so easily. If 3 Atlas is indeed a probe, its creators may be studying our solar system, possibly even us, from a distance. As 3 Atlas continues its journey through the solar system, it will undoubtedly continue to raise new questions about the nature of interstellar objects and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Whether it is a natural object or a man-made probe, it is clear that the study of such objects will continue to be one of the most fascinating areas of research in astronomy. The arrival of Oumuamua and 3 Atlas has opened a new chapter in our understanding of the cosmos, forcing us to consider the possibility that we may not be alone in the universe. The ongoing investigation of these mysterious objects is an exciting reminder that there is still so much to learn about the vast, unknown reaches of space.